Hello, good morning. I'm Rupert Verco, CEO of Cobra Resources. Welcome to a company update for our Woodner project. In particular, I'm hoping to talk you through the reanalysis results for lanthanides or rare earths from a fairly substantial regional reanalyses of historic drilling, and I'll also touch on recently completed and announced metallurgical testing for rare earth recoveries. I'll just point out our disclaimer, particularly comments around forward-looking statements. Please read that at your own leisure. I'd like to initially start by touching on the work to date, particularly around the rare earths and how we have got to where we are. In November 21, through an RC program that was primarily focused on gold mineralisation at Clark, we discovered rare earth mineralisation within the saprolite zone of geology that sits above and proximal to defined gold mineralisation at Clark. Through low-cost reanalysis of historic pulps that we've retained in storage, we've then been able to define an extensive rare earth footprint within that saprolite zone that extends south and above the existing 94,000 ounce gold resource at Baggy Green. So this footprint of rare earths now extends over 4.5 square kilometres above and proximal to these two known gold occurrences. And the purpose of this additional stage 4 reanalysis is to demonstrate the scalability and the potential for further high grade rare earth occurrences that are testing different geological hypotheses that we've put forward for the catalyst of rare earth enrichment and also the secondary processes that are required to enable the enrichment of the rare earths in the saprolite. So what we've reported today has been the results from 1,024 samples across a number of drill holes that were historically drilled across regional targets over our 1,800 square kilometre Woodner project land tenure. A number of these targets are traditionally gold prospects where elevated gold in Cowcrete has defined potential targets. Preliminary drilling has had positive indications of gold across a number of these zones, and there's been some high grade intersections as well. Some of the key requirements that we hypothesise as being the catalyst for the rare earth enrichment within the saprolite is the significant structures that control the gold mineralisation. They also control what we call the Hilfber suite intrusives, and these are enriched in rare earths, and they are also catalysts for the secondary processes of weathering that's required to mobilise these rare earths from the hard rock stage into the clay hosted saprolites. So some of the highlights from these results are truly stunning in terms of the grade and intersection width from a rare earth perspective. And they're demonstrating higher grades than what we've seen at both Clark and Baggy Green, and also they're more enriched or have higher quantities of the high value magnet rare earths. And so some of the key signature intersections are 31 metres at over 1,400 ppm TREO. This is inclusive of 12 metres at over 3,000 ppm TREO. And that occurs at the Thompson prospect down in the southeast of the project area. And this is roughly 50 kilometres as the crow flies from the Baggy Green and Clark prospects that are located over here. The other two signature intersections, 18 metres at over 2,000 ppm TREO, occur at Hadley and also at Anderson, which occurs more centrally in our land tenure. And these areas are demonstrating continual high-grade zones. So if we look at this over our magnetics, and magnetical geophysical signatures are key requirements to interpret what our regional structure is doing. What that is telling us is, or what has been interpreted from these magnetics, is we have a significant geological structure that trends northeast through this area. And this significant geological structure extends from up at Barnes. It actually cross-cuts the baggy green gold resource and extends all the way down south to Thompson. This structure now, we have defined significant high-grade rare earth occurrences across over 47 kilometres of this structure. So what we believe is happening here is that structure is controlling the emplacement of hill-to-pursuit intrusives and is also acting as a catalyst for that secondary weathering and the enrichment to the saprolite process. So we believe this is demonstrating a significant regional expansion potential of the rare earths, and it's something that we're testing in our current AIRCORE drilling program. Just quickly to touch on the metallurgical test work that we've recently announced with these results. So after we made that discovery in November last year, we sent a number of pulps from 2 drill holes at Clark to ANSTO, a globally recognised scientific body organisation in Australia, to carry out some preliminary test work to validate the recovery potential of rare earths that we're encountering in our saprolites. So we've executed 2 tests, and these tests are designed to target 2 styles of rare earth mineralization that occur within ionic clay-hosted rare earth deposits, one being ion exchangeable. This is an easily extractable ion exchange style of mineralization, and then the colloidal phase. The colloidal phase is an oxidized phase that occurs within the clay structure, and that's extractable through acid leaching processes. The mineral phase, which can occur within the clay deposits, also occurs within hard rock deposits. And the challenge with the mineral phase style of mineralization is it is more intensive in terms of the processes required to recover the rare earths from that style of mineralization. So what have our results told us? Well, we've achieved initially from these 2 drill holes low recoveries, less than 10% of the component of ion exchangeable mineralization from the ion exchangeable phase. This is in line with other projects that are in South Australia who have since demonstrated the ability to increase this through low-cost optimization processes. The second metallurgical test is the acid leach, and the preliminary results in this have been encouraging. We've seen recoveries of up to 34%, demonstrating that we have a portion of colloid phase mineralization, and suggests that we can further improve this through optimization studies. If we benchmark these results against what other rare earth market players have done from their preliminary work to where they are now with their process optimizations, we're certainly comparable to what they've experienced initially, and we endeavour through optimization to achieve what they're reporting as their recoveries now. I will make mention to iTech Metals, who operate or have a rare earths project directly to the south of us, at Woodner, and they've demonstrated through sizing fraction or sizing beneficiation of their sample that they can increase the ion exchange desorption recovery process to up to 24% through a very low cost technique. So there's opportunities there for us to be able to increase our recoveries through very low cost and amendable operational approaches. In terms of acid leach, we're in the ballpark to what AR3 with their Copper project were at their initial stage of testing, and they've since been able to demonstrate improved recoveries by looking at dual multiple phase, so both desorption acid leach processes and also using different lixiviants, different leach times, multiple washing steps. And these are all things that we'll look at testing and trialing as we increase our sample base across that 4 km² area and looking further abroad at these regional areas. The key component and the true value of these clay-hosted rare earths is in the simplicity for extraction. They're low cost for mining and lower cost for mineral extraction, as opposed to a traditional hard rock hosted rare earth mine that has a more complex and higher cost flow sheet. Just quickly touch on our 2022 work program. Obviously, these results have come a couple of weeks behind where we forecast we'd see these results. This has been subject to the turnaround times of laboratories in Australia at present, but we're certainly on track with our field work for this year. We're currently in the field with the AIRCORE rig at Clark, and that drilling is progressing nicely. We anticipate that we would start to see results from that drilling through mid-July. We will then, on the basis of those results, design our RC drilling, which is follow-up drilling that will occur through August. So we have a period of intense field activity that will result in high news flow. Just touching on what our key outcome criteria are for this AIRCORE program and what we hope to expect in terms of results and what we want to be able to report to the market. So we are using AIRCORE drilling to de-risk higher cost exploration activities like RC drilling. It's very low cost, low disturbance. We're working in some environmentally sensitive areas and we don't need to clear significant areas to AIRCORE drill. The benefit of AIRCORE drilling, it's very fast. We're drilling up to 500 meters a day, a significant number of holes with very little setup, and it's providing us a high value multi-element data set that's enabling us to progress not only the gold targets and hopefully now enable us to report gold intersections, particularly at Clark and that northern strike zone, but it will also enable us to report rare earth intersections through the saprolite zone and pathfinder chemistry from basement for both regional gold deposits and also our IOCG targets that we're planning to test over the coming days or drill over the coming days. What do we hope to see when we drill the AIRCORE holes above those IOCG targets? Well, we hope to see supportive pathfinder chemistry for IOCG mineralization. So that's hematite alteration or magnetite alteration and elevated rare earths, tellurium, tungsten, etc. And we'd also hope to get a sniff of copper. So if we start seeing things like that through this drilling, we'll be very encouraged and be very eager to drill test them in the RC program. So this program is designed to test a significant area. We're drilling 97 holes for roughly 6,000 metres. A majority of the 37 holes at Clark have already been drilled, and the next step will be to head to the IOCGs, where we'll drill 12 holes to test the top of the gravity anomalies of IOCG targets 1 to 3. Then there's a significant number of regional holes that will test or further validate a regional structure theory for rare earths across that significant 47 kilometres north west trend over that structure, and we'll follow up those excellent rare earth results at Thompson, Hadley and Anderson. Thank you for your time. We look forward to keeping you updated as exploration activities progress in the coming months.